Good morning. It is what time? 6:49 a.m. on Wednesday, August 18th, 2021. I'm not sure what that voice is. I'm Christiana Ellis and I just got up. This is 5 more minutes. I am feeling a little sort of extra like sleep disoriented today. At like 12:30 in the morning, very early morning or very late evening, depending on the fire alarm went off and startled Rocket and I out of bed. I had to get up and go outside and sit on the sidewalk for a few minutes before we were able to come back inside. And I was able to get back to sleep reasonably quickly, but boy, it was just like I was right at about 2 hours of sleep, and it was just extremely disorienting. And of course, Rocket was scared because it's loud. Everything was fine. It was probably somebody smoking in the stairwell or something. Who even knows? I don't know the details. Only just that the fire trucks did come. The firemen went inside. Firefighters, I should say, although they were all men, at least of the ones that I saw. But you know what? It doesn't matter. Firefighters. Anyway, they went inside and came out like inside of about a minute and a half. So, yeah. So I'm just feeling like even though the amount of time that I was awake that was extra last night was not that much, the disruption to my overall sleep definitely got me feeling a little this morning, but it'll be okay. Yesterday was actually okay despite, having a rough start. I did not solve all of my printer problems. I made a little bit of progress discovering that my AVG antivirus firewall stuff was interfering with the printer's ability to connect to the computer, but it is still not working correctly yet either. Honestly, I may just have to buy a new one. Printers are one of those weird niche bits of technology in our lives now. Like, the truth is that I don't actually need a printer very often. I hardly ever use it, which may actually be why whatever it is that's wrong with it went wrong. Like the fact that it wouldn't ever print any black ink. Maybe one of the little inkjets is just busted. Why is my computer making noises at me? I don't even know what program made that noise. What's going on? Ah, OneDrive isn't signed in. Thank you for making a noise at me in order to tell me that. It's fine. So yesterday, like I said, turned out like okay. Like it was, had hard work to do, but mostly once I got up and had some caffeine and took a shower, I was able to focus a little more. But yeah, last week and this week have been harder weeks than usual at work, which I don't want to overstate. I have a pretty good job and I like it a lot, really, all things considered. So it's just that it is certainly true that some weeks are more busy and therefore more stressful than other weeks, and these have been some of those weeks. But I'm okay. So, I'm reporting my experiences, but no one needs to feel like sorry for me. All that's required in this particular circumstance, and not even really required, but like if anyone wanted to, you could say, been there, something to that effect. No need for like pity or anything. I'm doing okay. Uh, did manage to have a fun session of Dungeons and Dragons last night. It's interesting. I feel like I'm still learning and growing as a dungeon master, and one of the things that I am enjoying more the more I play around with it is trying to really let the story flow and move organically based on the party decisions. And now, like, to some extent, it sounds like, wait, isn't that the whole game? And yes, it is, but more often in my past GMing, I tend to start a session by saying, here's what I think the party's going to do. And I come up with a vague general scenario for how it's going to go that is going to more or less be followed like a template, which will include a branch point at which the party will make a decision, and then I will prepare the next session based on what decision they made. And with some exceptions and wiggle room and stuff too, but that's a general concept. As opposed to the idea of either rigid on rails, this is what's going to happen, and if you don't go that way, I'll contrive a way to make you go that way. Versus just completely unprepared, freewheeling, nothing's going on. But the idea of being less prepared and more willing to let things just happen, whatever, it scratches some of my improv itches, where, you know what, this is a longer conversation. I'll talk more about this tomorrow if I remember. So in the meantime, I'll leave it here, and I will talk to you all tomorrow for 5 more minutes.